So I've just finished watching a Mortal Kombat, which has actually come out recently, and I thought I'd do a review video to just talk about what I thought about it. In my opinion, I would actually give I love the gritty feel of the actual movie, the way it actually looked. The costume design was amazing for both Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Also, when you look at the actual the location looked believable. I do like a more dark, gritty movie feel than something looking more comical and comedic. So if you look at, like, for example, the Christian Bale Batman trilogy, that had sort of like a dark, realistic view on the actual Batman franchise. And if you look at the Batman's trilogies before that, they were actually more comical and more comedic. If you look at the different type of Batman movies that have come out, so I'm more of a fan of like realistic movies that have a gritty feel to it. But this movie does definitely have its cons. The first 10-15 minutes of the movie was amazing. If you look at when Scorpion and Sub-Zero were actually fighting, the fight scenes in their movies were just incredible. But like everything else, after that point, it did start to get ramped down, so it wasn't as good as the first 15 minutes of the movie. The person that actually stole the show in terms of this actual movie was undoubtedly Kano. Kano just had the most character out of most of the cast. If you look at the original Mortal Kombat movie, the first one, the both the obviously Raiden and Shang Tsung had the most character when it came to actually being the villains and also the protagonists. But in terms of this particular movie, the Raiden and Shang Tsung were quite forgettable actually. The Sub-Zero had an amazing presence in the movie. When he was actually walking around, it felt like a horror movie when he was actually hunting down people. I actually liked the design of Goro as well. The way he actually moved, the CGI looked amazing. But the one thing I don't like about the movie was the fact that they focused too much attention on the MMA fighter. I feel like I understand what they were trying to do. They're trying to like see the movie from the perspective of someone who's not part of the tournament, but like from the viewer's perspective. But I feel like the character was just too forgettable. The plot armor device that they had on, they were getting washed the entire movie, but then as soon as they put on their plot armor, that's when they started to that's when they found their inner thing, and obviously that's when he actually beat Goro. But I feel like the best part of the movie was definitely Sub-Zero and Scorpion. If they kept the same tone of the movie for the first 15 minutes, it would have been amazing. I love the settings of when it started in feudal Japan, and the character set design in terms of the costumes were amazing. It's not the worst movie in the world. I'd probably give it 6 out of 10 maybe. It's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's a decent movie that's definitely fun to watch. There's plenty of references there for hardcore Mortal Kombat fans and Easter eggs. But to be honest with you, a lot of it was a lot of characters were also forgettable. If you look at Melina didn't really have any presence. She didn't really say anything. The worst character was the chief protagonist, the MMA fighter, Journeyman. Because he really doesn't have a place in the game, so it doesn't make sense that he had such a prominent role within the actual movie itself. And my favorite character was definitely Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero seemed like the most strongest character. I love the way he would actually hunt the characters down. Like he would literally be going for them, literally be trying to every time he came into the scene, everything would turn into icicles. And it seemed like he had a great presence within the actual movie immediately. And also Scorpion just looked incredible. But apart from that, everything else was just kind of forgettable. So yeah, in my opinion, it's a great movie to watch. It's definitely worth watching. It's definitely way better than the second Mortal Kombat movie in the original trilogy. But I don't think it's as good as the first Mortal Kombat movie, because the first Mortal Kombat movie, although it is more comical and comedic, the performances from Johnny Cage, Raiden and Shang Tsung was amazing, and it was more, they had more charisma, the characters. While with this one, Raiden was quite forgettable. Shang Tsung didn't have any charisma. The only person that had real charisma was probably Kano, in terms of his personality. But in terms of having presence and the look, Scorpion and Sub-Zero carried the movie. And I think instead of focusing so much attention on this nobody who was the first character, he was they should have focused all their attention on Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Ironically, if you look at the trailers and the actual posters, it seems like Scorpion has a more prominent role in the movie than it seems. The first 10 minutes and all of the fight scenes were incredible with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, but he doesn't have as much presence in the movie as you'd think. In terms of screen time, he's probably in the movie for like less than 1/3 of the movie. But in terms of his sheer presence, I think he was one of the best characters in the actual movie. So yeah, my favorite character was definitely Sub-Zero. The way he used to hunt people, and the way he would look, his whole set design, the way he carried himself was incredible. So yeah, that's my view on the movie. It's definitely worth checking out, and it's in cinemas right now. So yeah, I believe there's going to be a sequel to this where there's going to be Johnny Cage, and I assume also Shao Kahn's going to come into the fray as well. I'm looking forward to seeing Shao Kahn. I'm curious how he's going to look. And obviously a little bit disappointed that Sub-Zero died so quickly, because hopefully they could get him back into the sequel, because he was so badass. But it'll be interesting to see what they do next. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the movie. It's definitely worth checking out, but in terms of my rating, I'll probably give it 5 or 6 out of 10. It's a decent movie. It's not anything groundbreaking, but it's a fun movie to watch if you got some time. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Peace out.